A lot of people think that becoming successful financially is about making lots of money or having lots of money. Yes, to have financial success, there is the need to either make, a good amount of money or to ultimately accumulate or have a fair amount of money. But just having lots of either one of those is not the key to financial success. The key to financial success is the management of that money, and really more so making sure that your standard of living, your means, or what it costs to be you is less than what you make. The real throttle to financial success isn't how much money you make or even how much money you have. It's the difference between the life that you currently live versus the life that you couldn't afford to live. And how much of a spread is that? And what are you doing then with that spread, that difference between those numbers? Because the real reality is that the more income you have, there's also the tendency to have just greater and greater commitments. We buy nicer cars, or we buy bigger homes, or we go on fancier vacations. We come up with ways to spend that money, and what is required throughout all this is the need to just go back to work and work more and work more and work more. A lot of people enjoy their work. They wouldn't do it otherwise, but too much of it becomes a burnout. And, having too little say as to what work you do, and to limit yourself, to have no optionality in your choices because you're so financially committed, like that becomes ruinous and really hard for your health, your mental health in particular. And so, not having lots of money will necessarily free you from the need for work. If anything, having lots of money just commits you to spending more and more money, and then you just have to keep going back to the job, and now you have to work even harder and harder and harder. And where do you find yourself in all of this? So what I would propose to you, instead of saying, hey, I'm doing well just because I have a high income, or I'm doing well just because I've achieved some resources to my name, I've got some wealth under my feet, is what kind of life am I living? And is that life sustainable and supportable for my finances? And you can be doing really well, really financially successful, and actually not make all that much income, or even have all that much income, like wealth to your name, because you don't need that much to support yourself. And so all this demand placed on you, it becomes optional. So what I would recommend, what we encourage and have our clients do, is we have a committed savings rate, goals to have them working towards putting so much money of their money, of their current income away. One, because if we're saving it, we're not spending it. So that's money that's not being used to expand our standard of living, our lifestyle. But it's also money that's now being put towards work. It's money that's now working for you, and ultimately can be a future source of income for yourself, and allow you then to have freedom as to when you can choose to no longer work. And the simple reality is the more money we put away in savings towards investing, and especially the sooner and the younger that we do that, the more that works for you. Those dollars are working for you over time, and we have this compounding effect that gets to be rather significant quickly. Now, not just over weeks or months or even a few years. It takes usually a few decades for the real power of this to take effect, but it is powerful. And the benefit is that work becomes less and less demanding, or at least becomes more and more optional and more on your terms, and allows you to have more and more negotiation, which are all really freeing aspects. So don't necessarily think that just because you've made you're making good income, that somehow you are financially successful. Making lots of money is not in itself financial success, nor is just simply having a lot of money. Perhaps, let's say you're a lotto winner, and all of a sudden you come into this, or you come into a large inheritance, some sort of windfall. Just simply having a lot of money is not financial success. Financial success is the management of that money. And the management of that money all comes down to really controlling and being aware of your expenses, and being mindful of living on less than what you make, and setting some of that money aside, maybe even a good portion of it, towards wealth accumulation, towards compounding. That's the real secret to financial success.